Yeah, let's get to a massive story now, which was broken by SportsMax.tv on Wednesday morning. The five-time world 100-meter champion Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce has parted ways with coach Ronaldo Walcott. The development means the 37-year-old will leave elite performance, a track club she was instrumental in building. She partnered with Walcott during the summer of the COVID-affected 2020 season after over a decade of success at the Stephen Francis-led MVP group under Walcott's guidance. Fraser-Pryce ran a personal best 10.60 for 100 meters in 2021. The same season, she broke 22 seconds for the first time over 200 meters. She won Olympic silver that year over 100, but returned in 2022 to win a record fifth world 100-meter title while copying silver over 200 meters. She also won a world championship 100-meter bronze in Budapest last year. She has raced sparingly over the last two seasons due to injuries and shockingly withdrew from the Olympics ahead of her semi-final in Paris. Both Fraser-Pryce and Walcott have been silent on this matter, but we understand that the three-time Olympic gold medalist has compiled a team to lead her forward, whatever forward looks like. Included in that team is former Kingston College star sprinter Andre Wellington, a 2008 Olympian who coaches sprints at Issa Boys champions Kingston College and was widely credited with Bouagie and Krumi's outstanding 9.99 seconds champs and Jamaica Junior record run in 2023. Leighton Lever, the man who broke the story, is joining us via Zoom. And Leighton, what can you tell us about this situation? Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce parting ways with Ronaldo Walcott.
Well, let's go back to last year when there was the argument that Thompson-Herah was about to be trained by Ronaldo Walcott, when we heard that had actually caused some kind of a rift between herself and Coach Walcott, because it was a situation where she had left MVP in 2020 primarily because of the tension between herself and Thompson-Herah. Of course, going through the season, she's had significant challenges, and I liken this situation to what's happening, Ricardo, and I'd like to use these tennis analogies with you because you're a big tennis fan, to what's happened to Rafael Nadal, where he's at the back end of a very successful career, and you're wondering whether or not you should go on or you should call it a day and put a bow on what has been one of the most glittering careers ever. And I think this is where Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce is, where because of where the discomfort, this is just my view now, of where she's at with elite performance, and perhaps stepping back and looking at where she's at in her career, and looking at perhaps stepping back and looking at a clean slate, taking away all of those world titles, or all those Olympic titles, and the amazing career that she's had, and saying, let's start from a fresh year and see how far I can take this. And I think where she's at right now is at a point where what we're getting is that she's assembled a team around her to pursue the possibility of going forward to the World Championships in Tokyo in September. Whether or not she actually decides to go there, it's quite another matter. I think this move is one that will give her a sense of where, with a fresh slate, to see how does my body feel? Where is my spirit? Where is my heart? Where is the fire that still burns in my stomach to want to be the very best in the world? And I think over the next few weeks, we'll see from this new dynamic in her career, what she decides to do eventually. If you remember just a couple of weeks ago, last week actually, where she was asked at the Pocket Rocket Foundation what plans she has for her future. And she said no comment, primarily because I think she hasn't decided yet. And when you consider where she's at right now, I think this is probably a step to make that final determination of where she is. Fresh start, new people, a new direction, and perhaps a new goal looking into whether or not she goes forward in 2025.
Yeah, let's talk about that, David, because, you make some very good points there, but let's talk, because Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce has achieved everything there is to achieve in this sport. She is two-time Olympic 100 champion. She has won 5 world titles at 100 meters. She has a world 200 title as well. She has a world indoor 60 title. So she has done it all. She's run 10.60. She's gone below 22 seconds over 200 meters. There isn't anything that you can really look at to say that her resume, her CV is short of. So given that, and the fact that at 37 years old, she is still contemplating whether she wants to continue or not, it says to me, Leighton Levy, that as far as the heart is concerned, there is willingness. And so I am wondering if there is something else stopping her at this stage, or would be forcing her to consider whether she will be, and I use this word deliberately, capable of continuing on in a way where she will still be among the best in the world?
That's a tricky question, Ricardo, primarily because I think had Shelly gone to the final of the Olympics last Olympic Games in Paris this summer, I think her mindset probably would have been a little bit different, because this was the first time in her career that she has not made an Olympic final. And this was the first time when she has made a global final. Maybe she feels like she needs to have some kind of closure by ending her career on a high, because that's what she deserves. And look, they say age is not a number. We see Merlin that's run.
But quickly, Leighton, she did say before the Paris Olympic Games, though, that while it was her last Olympic Games, she kept reminding the public final Olympic Games, which was a very strong suggestion that she was looking to go beyond 2024.
Yeah, but there are new dynamics now to that, Ricardo, because one of the things is her health. And we all know since 2016, she's had the toe injuries, and of course, since that time, the persistent knee issue that saw her run 4 races last year, 3 of them at the national championships, and she pulled out of a meet just before the start of the Olympics, and then ran the first round of the Olympics and then pulled out of the semifinals. So maybe that's one of the things that she needs to assess, that she's trying to assess, whether or not those injuries are going to be a major obstacle this year like they were last year. So that's probably what keeps her going as well. The idea of not knowing. And there's nothing that happens by chance for Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce. She's very deliberate in every decision that she makes. And I think this is another one, that this is to determine whether or not her body's up to the challenge of making another run for another medal, perhaps, at World Championships, because she's done it all, like you said before. The only thing she doesn't have is a world record, and I think that really doesn't matter, because the reality is world records go. I mean, this one has stood for 30-odd years. The fact is that it will go eventually, and then what happens next? The fact is that nobody can take away her Olympic titles. Nobody can take away her world titles. She's already accomplished those. Having 24 global medals is a fantastic achievement for somebody who started her career at 22 years old back in 2008 in Beijing, when she won her first global title. So the only thing that I think is probably the big question in her mind now is whether or not her body can go for another round of competition and take her to the top of the world once again.
Yeah, Leighton, as you continue to dig and uncover these stories, in the path of that, have you been able to uncover the reason why she pulled out of the semifinals at the Olympic Games in Paris? Because that question still remains unanswered. Or could that be a part of, whatever has been happening with her and her coach?
Well, the reality is that she hasn't spoken on it, and I don't think she ever will. And I don't think anybody else around her has spoken about why she pulled out. We had heard some things about her probably feeling some discomfort before the start of the semifinal, but we have no information to confirm whether or not it's true or not. And rather than risking a more serious injury, she decided to err on the side of caution and not contest that semifinal. I'm sure that must have rankled her, given the challenges that she's had all season and gotten to the final. Looked pretty decent in the first round, the preliminary round, and of course looking forward to what was a competitive semifinal with Sha'Carri Richardson and Julian Alfred, the eventual gold and silver medalist. from in the finals. But I think unless she's willing to speak about it publicly, we can only continue to speculate because she hasn't said anything definitive about it, and what we are hearing has not been confirmed. So we're pretty much back at square one, left to wonder why she could withdraw from the semifinal.
Yeah, Levy, the name Andre Wellington has emerged as a main member of the new team that Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce has assembled to take her forward. What can you tell us about this Andre Wellington? We know that he was a star sprinter at Kingston College from, around 2000 to 2006. But in terms of his coaching pedigree and what he brings to the table?
Well, what we do know is that he was instrumental in a lot of those Kingston College victories in the mid-2000s, where he brought the team, well, not 2020, from 2011, I think it was, where he's been a significant element of that.
From 2018.
Yeah, 2018, sorry, my bad, of Kingston College. And of course, he was at Raceway Track Club from 2011 and 2012. So I think he would have, over the course of his experiences, being an athlete and, of course, a coach at a successful school and a successful track club, we are assuming here that he has developed a lot of pedigree. I'm not quite sure what his certifications are, but certainly based on what we've seen and heard, what he's done with Bouagie and Nkrumah, getting them to sub-10 at champs just a couple of years ago, I suspect that he has the chops about him to be able to at least handle Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce for 1 year, if it comes to that. So maybe this is a dynamic, and of course we heard some other names as well, which haven't been confirmed yet. But I think she's probably looking at what he's capable of, seeing that he has enough of what she perhaps needs to take her where she wants to go. And so I think if she believes, as I said before, she doesn't do anything by chance, she probably would have scouted and seen where he has the chops to be able to do what she needs for him to do as a coach. And of course, she comes, with the experience as well. So combined with his skill sets and her experience, I think she believes that together, if she decides to proceed all the way to the World Championships in Tokyo, that they have what it takes to work together.
Yeah, Leighton, I'm sure we'll be chatting a lot more on this issue in the coming days and the coming weeks as well. Thanks very much. And keep tracking this story and others like it and uncover a lot of what is going on in the circle.
Yep, I've been busy from morning. I've been calling everywhere from here to Italy. And that's a hint. So every here it is,
All right, thanks very much, Leighton Levy. Lance and Mariah, interesting that Leighton Levy just pointed out calling everywhere from here to Italy. I suspect that is a reference on Elaine Thompson-Herah, because a lot of speculation about what will happen to the double Olympic champion, because strong suggestions that she has had conversations to return to the MVP Track and Field Club. I can confirm that is in fact true, that there have been discussions between Thompson-Herah and the MVP Track and Field Club. No decision has been taken yet, no final decision as to whether she will in fact go to the MVP club. There are also strong suggestions that she might be looking to Italy. That's where the likes of Omar McLeod and Brittany Anderson, the two Jamaicans, are. Daryl Nita trains there as well. I hear that is not in the equation for Thompson-Herah, but there is a possibility, although not yet confirmed, that she could return to the MVP Track and Field Club. Whether they can agree terms, we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah. How shocking would that reuniting be, though? Because it was a pretty acrimonious separation between them, Thompson-Herah and MVP, when it happened.
Not shocking, because in the summer, post the national championships, Stephen Francis was asked again if he would welcome Elaine Thompson-Herah back to the club. And he said yes. He had, I guess, a change of position, because when Leighton Levy asked him at the end of the 2023 Nationals, it was an emphatic no. He would never take her back. Following the trials this year, he said yes, he would take her back, but he added that it was not necessarily in her best interest to return to the club, suggesting that he had a number of young quality sprinters, the Clayton twins, Crystal Slowly,
as in the
Well,
guys?
just speaking
Well,
specifically
others who
to
are
the
older, like
females
Morrison
now.
and so on. Yeah, but
not
not
even
necessarily
going
young.
to those older ones,
Yes.
speaking specifically to the young ones who are in the group. There's the other young lady from Edwin Allen, who her name is slipping me at the moment. Fine long jumper as well. There's a lot of belief in her, and I think when she breaks through, there are people who might be a little bit surprised, but I fully expect her to do that as well. She's a world under-20 silver medalist behind Tina in 2022. I don't know for the life of me why I'm forgetting her name, but you who are watching, you know who I'm talking about. So yes, so not totally surprising that they would be open to the possibility of Thompson-Herah returning to the MVP group, given what Stephen Francis had said in the summer.
Yeah, what's shocking for me is there are so many moves taking place, and I wait to see how it all pans out, and I really hope that it benefits the athletes, because this year at the Olympics, I didn't like how it went down for Jamaica.
And let me tell you something, guys. The ones that Mariah is talking about are only the ones that we have said so far. There are others. Yeah? We're just waiting on the confirmations. Let's take a break. We'll be back with so much more on the SportsMax Zone.